Hi, everybody. Hopefully, everyone's still in a good mood. We'll find out. Join us as we talk about some things in Avalanche world. Welcome to the Cluster Puck Podcast, part of the MHRT Network. Here at Center Ice, I am Nick. Joining me, as always, is Brit. How's it going, Brit?
It is going. I can't say exactly how thrilled it's going, but it's going.
Yeah, just the time keeps ticking, but your emotions, they're right now, at least for people in Avalanche world. Some people are starting to maybe hit the panic button, but I'll
Yeah,
say
they're
hold off
making
on that right
mistakes.
now. But it's not. It's been a bleak week, Britt.
Yeah, it's we knew it was coming, like 100%. So I don't know why we're acting like we're so shocked, but here we are,
Here
shocked.
we are. Yep. So before we kind of tell you what happened, if you didn't catch it already, don't forget to like and subscribe, follow the MHRT network so you can get notified when shows like the Cluster Puck podcast go live. You can do so on the various social media platforms of your choosing. And if you want to follow us, we ask that you do so at the Cluster Puck podcast on Facebook and at Cluster Puck Avs on Twitter, Instagram, and Threads. Okay, Britt, let's talk about I want to say 2026 as a whole because yikes. But
Tear it
just
down.
the week that happened alone, 4 games, 3 of which result in a loss, 2 of which you get 0 points out of.
Gnarly
First
is the
loss
thing.
week of the season, Britt.
Yeah.
How do you feel right now about it?
I feel a little entitled, but also pretty disgusted.
That's a big mood. Boy, you weren't kidding. That's
Yeah.
a big mood.
It's like we're just too accustomed to never losing, but also just the manner in which they lost. Like you couldn't just lose a game like 4-3, like and just keep up, and you know what I mean? Just we had
Yeah.
to lose. It's one thing when you lose and you've just lost the game, but when you know that there is absolutely no reason for your team to have lost the game, when you're better and you're just giving it away, it makes losses so much more frustrating. I have the hiccups, sorry.
No, you're good. All good. No, and I think you're right. It's the way these losses came about that it's just disgusting, to be honest with you. But before we get into the weekly recap, Britt, there is some news that we forgot to share for the last couple of weeks, and I can't believe we forgot about this.
I know. Yeah.
I guess it's
the way there.
excuse me. I guess it's just because we were just so wrapped up in the winning traditions and stuff like that in Avalanche world that we totally forgot the big news that everyone should probably know by now. But for those of you who have not heard yet, the next Winter Classic in the NHL will be in Salt Lake City, Utah, where the Utah Mammoth will be taking on our Colorado Avalanche.
Nick is being, they specifically, just you. They're like, Nick has been such a great fan. Let's
Well,
put it in
here's
his
my
backyard.
thing. Like I kind of thought that this was going to happen anyways. Like it would have made the most sense.
Oh yeah.
And it felt like they threw some kind of a wrench when there was a leaked photo of the next Winter Classic at Bristol Motor Speedway between the Carolina Hurricanes and the Nashville Predators. And everyone's like, yep, that's the one. That's it. That's it. Something still didn't feel right about it.
They have so many shitty employees because is there any league that has stuff leaked the way the NHL does?
No kidding.
Every
Like,
single jersey, every single piece of news, every single everything for a league
it's like trying to stop a bucket of pouring water with Swiss cheese with the NHL. Like it is the weirdest thing.
It almost makes you think that they do it on purpose, like as
I kind of feel like they would.
I feel like I don't know.
Just they do a soft leak to get feedback, and then if it's bad enough, they immediately change something. Be like, oh, this is what we have.
Maybe they didn't like how the feedback was not good. I mean, it's about freaking time that we need more cold weather winter classics like this, like palm trees in the outdoor games.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. I'm over it.
Which it was a fun Winter Classic, don't get me wrong. The fact that they actually opened the dome, opened the window, so it was actually outdoors was
but
something.
That
But
ice
and Allie was rather happy that the Rangers won, so there's always that.
is that like that is their only win this year, isn't it?
Just about, yeah. But I think you're exactly right. You know, like for Utah it'll only be their third year as a franchise since the relocation from Arizona. Already have a Winter Classic coming up, and it's like great things are happening in Utah. And the only thing I will say for those of you who don't know Utah weather is in the wintertime we have these beautiful thing called inversions, where all the smog, all the crap, all that dirty air, it instead of just blowing up and over the mountains and stuff, it flips, so it's just settled on the bottom, and it's like you can't see in front of you. It like you'd think it's like a foggy day, but it's all just dirty air. So I am like fingers crossed that it's a nice cool day, great weather for the game, no inversion, maybe some snow would be great this season.
The inversion with like a sprinkle, because like I just think like the most beautiful hockey like vision in my brain is that Penguins baby blue jersey, like that snow, those thick snowflakes, like it's just the quintessential like outdoor.
It is. See, that to me is kind of my thing with when it was the Maple Leafs and the Red Wings at Michigan Stadium. Oh, that to me was like
the snow is so
game.
Oh my gosh, yeah. The Stadium series that we went to, it was freezing, and that was supposed to be like it's an outdoor game. It's supposed to be cold.
Yeah, I know. So here's hoping that it's the right kind of weather in a year from now, but should be New Year's Day, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
The Avalanche finally are involved in a Winter Classic against the Utah Mammoth. It's going to be the greatest Rocky Mountain rivalry, rumble, whatever they're calling that rivalry nowadays. I am excited for the jerseys, man. I'm going to be dropping so much money on merchandise for both teams. It's going to be insane.
If they drop the ball, I'm going to be furious. Like freaking, and that's part of the reason that I hate it when people get like so poopy pants about the Stadium Series jerseys. Like they finally did something that was like new and out there. So like I just hope that they go outside the box. Like stop leaning on the Nordiques and just
I'm kind of hoping they do that exact same thing like what I was saying with the Red Wings and the Maple Leafs, where it was blue versus red. You could just have a maroon versus light blue, and it'll just look so good. I think it would. But anyway, late news, but it's news nonetheless. Extremely excited. Like I said, I'll be there. I'm gonna make sure I get tickets, that's for sure.
I think that this one's I bet those tickets sell really good.
Oh, I bet you they'll go by fast. Hockey in Utah has taken up like wildfire. It is
no joke.
So anyway, all right, back to the task at hand, Brit. Bad week. We'll just put it that way. Not a good week.
They're just gonna give us like the whole season's worth of pain in like a 2-week span.
We'll see.
That we've been deprived of.
Yeah, it's not been good. In fact, the year of 2026, let alone the month of January, has not been good for the Avalanche.
No.
But
granted,
like I said,
we are missing very important players, and it's like really hard to remember that. So,
and that was the big. I think. Well, I'll hold my thoughts until after the weekly recap, because I do have some opinions on a couple of holdouts that I think are happening and for why. Okay, so 4 games that were played, 3 of which were losses. One of them did go to shootouts. Boy, was that a game.
Can we just never have a shootout again?
Could we just never go to overtime again?
I will give them. Oh my God. What the heck?
It is terrible.
I'll stop. There's just no reason.
You're in the same boat as me, Britt. Like, I don't know how to phrase my frustration. It's so terrible. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk this first one. The game against the Nashville Predators, you lose this one 7-3. Okay, this isn't just a little. Yeah. This was your first multi-goal regulation loss of the season.
It was a butt whooping.
It was awful
by the team that for some reason just whoops our butt. I don't get it until
And
the
that
playoffs.
was kind of what I was saying last week, Britt, was this game just that, like, even though we've won 2 of the 4 now, we split the season series, none of
Really?
these wins felt satisfying.
No.
And this is why, because Nashville, for some reason, always had that knack to get under the Avalanche's skin, and finally they have the breakthrough against
Yeah.
us. And it was
Ryan
awful.
O'Reilly.
It was terrible. Ryan O'Reilly nets a hat trick against us. And by the way, this latest game against Philadelphia,
Yeah,
I might
we're
as well
just handing
I
out
might as well throw this in there too. But Ryan O'Reilly has 3 goals. Let's see who else had. Let's see, Bunting had a goal. Forsberg
which,
had a
like,
goal.
Bunting
Stamkos and
never
McCarron.
scores goal. I mean, that's so dumb.
Yeah, UC Saros stops 40.
And we had
of 43.
Blackwood in net, right? Blackwood. Did you see he was named the captain?
Say that again. UC Saros?
Yeah.
Well, so
Or is that
I
not true?
did see that it was a Roman Yossi appreciation night. So if you watched, everyone had the captain C and 59 on their back, but not their normal number, and just their normal number on their shoulder. So that's what I thought too.
Dude, I was like,
until
that
someone
is
pointed it
super
out.
cool. But
Yeah,
it's
I was excited at first until someone said no, it's just
No
Roman Yossi
goals.
appreciation night. So yeah, no
okay,
goals.
well, that's no fun.
Yeah. So anyway, yes, Mackenzie Blackwood was in net.
He wasn't like terrible, but I mean, I don't know. I'm a goalie sympathizer, but
yeah, he
certainly
saved
left him
23
out
of
to dry.
28. Obviously a couple of them weren't on him because they were empty netters, but
and we've seen him. It is very predictable that he comes back and he takes a couple games to get back in the groove. Like that,
Right.
It is consistently every single time taking him 2-ish games to really get back in the groove. And you'd think that we would play to compensate for.
You would think so, because that's
getting back in his groove.
That's kind of been the Avalanche's MO, Britt, was whenever you were down, you had that offensive capability to put you right back into the game.
Right.
Doesn't matter if you were down 2 goals, you would get those back within half a period.
Outscore that problem. And you just, get back in the flow.
Exactly, right? So it's like sometimes the goalie bails you out. Sometimes you have to bail out the goalie. In this case, neither of them wanted to bail each other out.
The Avs have won too many times this year. I feel like relied on their goalie bailing them out. Scott Wedgwood is quickly, I think, 1 or 2 games until he reaches the maximum number of games he's played in a season in his career. We have got to chill out and keep him healthy into the playoffs, because you can see him steadily not declining, but he's certainly not stealing games at a rate he was, but he's also not a spring chicken. So we need to stop relying on him to steal games.
Yep, you're 100% correct. Now, the game itself, the score looks like it's terrible. Okay,
score effects for sure.
But it was tied. Well, I shouldn't say it. I mean, it was tied at the end of 1. You were down 2 at the end of 2, and you got within 1 you still had like 19 minutes left in the third period. So you had that chance to do exactly what we were saying, Britt, where you have your offense just put up goals to bring you back in the game.
And it feels like that magic of they're never out of it. It's very quickly waning.
It seems like it, because as soon as Forsberg netted that power play with 5 minutes left, and then just shortly after that, 2 empty netters like that.
That was, and then to just it has to leave. I mean, if it's sour for us, that has to just disgust them to see that score. What shows up, at the end of the day, because that looks really bad.
Exactly, and that's the hard part, right? Is because you were down 1 goal. I think Nate just scored a minute into the third period, and you had all that kinds of time, about 15 minutes worth, to score the tying goal, but they couldn't do it. Nashville had that clamp down defense, and Saros began to play out of his mind, and it was just one of those times where that's just what he does, and now everyone keep in mind what I'm saying now, because I'm literally going to copy and paste this into the Philadelphia game that just happened. So hold on. But Yeah, 7-3 loss. You're like, we got to get that taste out of our mouth because, again, losing like that is not good, let alone at home, right?
Exactly.
So,
and it is like that was the first game where it was like, you know what, we're due. That's gonna happen. Let's just go. Get your comeback game. Like that's
yes.
where we're at.
And that's exactly what they did. Luckily, in this game, Washington Capitals come into town next. The Avalanche win this game 5-2. Again, the scoreboard doesn't reflect this, but that game was a pretty good battle, to be completely honest with you. Like both goalies were playing very, very good. Kind of your I wouldn't say your usual suspects were scoring necessarily. But Wedgwood played just again a really solid game, I think.
Yeah.
But
He's
my favorite
for the most
thing,
part giving you everything you can ask for him. I mean, he's technically a backup goalie.
yeah, I think my favorite thing about this though was the fact that Parker Kelly and Victor Olofsson got on the scoreboard.
Okay,
With
did
goals
you
of their
see
own.
the video? Now I am like rooting for Parker Kelly so much harder.
Oh yeah.
Did you see the video interview with him on Pucking Around?
Yes, I did.
Oh my God. Okay, so he is like doing the Ophelia dance. Like he is just idiotically lovable. And now I want him to score all the goals every single day.
Every goal for the rest of the season.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. He's rocking Taylor Swift in the locker room when he's got the controls. So
it's pretty
my
good.
buddy.
It was pretty good because they interviewed Malinsky about it, right? And he was kind of the one that broke the news.
Yeah. And then I guess Brock Nelson was like telling him that they were getting him all wound up.
It was great. For those of you who haven't seen that clip, we recommend you go and check it out. It's a pretty great clip.
Parker Kelly, Fate of Ophelia.
Fate of Ophelia. Just type it in, Taylor Swift or Parker Kelly, however you want to type it in. Go ahead and do that. But back to the game, Brit. The game itself didn't feel like the Avs ever lost control of momentum, but it was just one of those like rock'em sock'em. We hit you, you hit us back. We hit you, you hit us back.
Yeah,
no one ever didn't have of a situation. Yeah. So it was gritty. It was, especially coming off of that terrible loss. This was one that definitely was a good pick me up. But unfortunately,
we let the Caps play their game. I mean, that's certainly their game. They're not like some super tactical team right now. They're kind of in a weird spot, and we gave into that. I mean, we didn't play our game to the max capacity.
That's right. The good news though is, again, the two goals that were scored were from Jacob Chikrin and is it Ethan Frank?
Oh, I don't know.
Did I say that right? I can't remember.
Something
Frank.
We'll just the casual nobody.
I think it's Ethan Frank. But anyway, you kept Ovechkin off the score sheet, which is, well, as far as goal sheet is concerned, then yeah, you did that. But
yeah,
you battled this one out, and eventually in the third period you were able to put two away, and actually, that was the final score. But unfortunately, Britt, the feeling did not last very long because the Anaheim Ducks come next, and they lose this game.
The big, bold, and mighty, terrifying
in a shootout, Britt. And this game we made Lucas Dostal look like a Vezina finalist, like 2006 Martin Brodeur. Like it was ridiculous because we were peppering him with shot after shot after shot. Like we had the shots on goal by a mile, right? We were okay offensively. Like we were doing great offensively. Zone times were great. Zone entries were great. Rushes were great. But we could not get past that goalie. It was incredible. That's
what the Avs do, though.
It is.
They take mediocre goalies and turn them into superstars for the night. It's honestly a point of concern for me at this point.
Yep. So the Avs, excuse me, were held scoreless through 56 of the 60 minutes, and then Arturi Lehkonen finally scores that tying goal with about 4-ish minutes left, and it sends it to overtime. somehow the Avs don't score then because of stupid turnovers that everyone tried to play here all of a sudden.
Absolutely insanity how awful this team is in overtime.
And
the
then
two
shootout.
places in the game where this team should be the most dominant in the power play and overtime when you consider our speed and like shooting quality like players, and somehow we massively fantastically fail at them every single time.
It's ridiculous. And so shootouts come along, and I already in my head have said we've lost.
Yeah, the second we're like the buzzer goes off, your heart shits your pants because it's done.
And again, it was good that we got a point out of this. That is the good news.
We are,
but at the same time, like ending the game, even if you go to overtime, I don't know how you cannot win these overtime games with the ensemble that you have in front of you.
I know what should be truly.
I don't get it.
The best, I mean, if not the top 2 crew to put on the ice in an overtime in the world.
It does not make sense. Anyway, needless to say, Anaheim gets the 2 goals in the shootout, and that's kind of all she wrote. This one was a tough one to swallow because in all facets you had the better statistics.
Yeah.
But just the puck going in the net is what ultimately drives it, and that is kind of how it goes sometimes, So we've had this in seasons prior, where we end up winning games where we had a grand total of like 15 shots on goal, and the other team had like 1,000, and that's just kind of how it rolls. So it's this one was not fun. I think the Avalanche played fine. I wasn't really worried about how they played. What did worry me, though, is the next game, as in the game that for us just happened. For those of you watching this, it's yesterday's game against the Philadelphia Flyers. Now, let me tell you something about the parity of the NHL real fast, okay? So the Flyers just beat the Avalanche 7-3, and I'm not kidding when I say this was literally a copy-paste type game from that Nashville game where it was close up until the third period, okay? Yeah. And the Avs had to play catch up several times. Now, like I said, the Philadelphia Flyers just beat us 7-3. A couple days prior in Utah, I watched the same Philadelphia Flyers team lose a game they were ahead in with a minute left and an empty netter. Okay. And they get the pocket picked. They let the Mammoths tie the game with 30 seconds left, and then they go on, the Mammoths do, to win that game in overtime, and Philadelphia loses, okay? Fast forward to this game. They dominate in a lot of facets this game. Very similar to the Nashville game, where you just had to play catch-up the entire time, despite the fact that at least in the first period, you had the shots on goal, you had the momentum, you had the speed, you had all these great opportunities of high danger chances, but nothing would go in. And yet 2 rinky-dinky goals from Owen Tippett, who, by the way, I believe he got a hat trick in this game.
That was his first career hat trick, wasn't it?
Yes. Like I said, I'm not kidding. Like almost everything was copy paste from Nashville, Brit. It was insane.
Yeah.
But that's the parity of the league.
Do you know what the most disgusting, absolutely just unacceptable part of this is? The fact that we shit this bed with the greats all in the building.
Oh my gosh, yes.
We had Joe Sakic, Bork, Rob Blake. We had every trophy that those men had ever won, which is a lot of them. Yep. Stanley Cup was in the building. It was
Stanley Cup was there. Yeah.
Do we always drop those games? Because I feel like every single game where there's something emotional, like a ceremonial type thing,
where there's a lot of eyeballs on you.
Yeah. Yep. Do we lose them every time?
It certainly feels like it. Yeah. But this game, not the Avalanche's way, right? And Okay, here's a statistic though. Let me show you this. This is one thing that I just could not believe. If I go to team statistics, 4 power play opportunities, 0 of them capitalized.
But
Okay.
you know what we do lead on? No, we're second in giving up.
Allowing shorthanded goals. You're
Yeah,
right. Oh my gosh, I hate that.
it's so frustrating. Oh my
Yep.
gosh.
Oh my gosh, cannot believe it. Anyway, so this next week at the end of the day is all about bounce back, right? Because now
Yeah,
you're on the road
get your
for
stuff together,
several
which
games.
we seem to kind of have good recollection periods when we go on little road trips, and I think that a lot of players would agree that sometimes getting away from the family, the obligations,
Yeah,
house, I hope that it's good for them.
yeah, and fingers crossed that it is. So, anyway, before we get into the upcoming games, Britt, let me kind of go back to kind of something that I held on just a few minutes ago, as far as holdouts from the roster. Now, you mentioned, Britt, that we don't have a complete roster. Landeskog's obviously not there. Nichushkin only just got back. Taves is not there. Kiviranta, I think, also just came back. So, like, it's
Is Logan O'Connor dead?
that's another question that you actually beat me to, believe it or not, is where is he? He was supposed to be here by Christmas, and it's a month past that now, and I haven't heard a peep.
It's not a good sign to me, because having to hold out that long isn't just like a little bit of extra recovery. Like, it feels like something catastrophic is wrong with
Something to that extent, and I think you're exactly right, Britt. I don't, again, with the Avalanche, no news is bad news. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it seems like that's all they do is just they'll give you the most basic of information saying, yeah, he'll still be sometime, and that's it. You know? So I don't know. But going back to this next bit, the Avalanche have, let's see, 4 games remaining in December, and then 2 in February. So we'll say 6 games. The Avalanche have 6 games to do the following. The first one is remain healthy. Okay, wins or losses aside, Britt, I want these players that are going to the Olympics to be healthy.
And you have to think that they're going to be playing with a particular amount of caution.
That's what I'm wondering.
Like athletes on our team, and so I'm not sure if they're playing with a certain amount of hesitation to stay healthy.
Because that's just it, Britt, is like you saw what happened with Leo Carlson and Seth Jones and all these players that because of injuries they're going to miss on the Olympics, which just sucks because sometimes it might be their only shot. So I cannot help but wonder what these next 6 games are going to bring as far as that health precaution, which is why
look at Lehkonen. He has not done anything.
Yeah, I think he scored a goal or 2, but I mean, as far as like that forecheck ability that he's got, hasn't been there.
That the feeling that he brings of pressure and just intensity, it sure has felt very far away.
Yes. So that's why I think Britt, with Devon Taves, he's kind of a special case, but with his injury, I think they're holding him out. Landeskog for sure is why they're holding him out.
As healthy as possible, which is fine with me. I mean, thank God we built this padding. Like, this is why you built a padding, so that when you go through the ruts, we're still like 8 points ahead, and
exactly. And that's just it, Britt. It's even without them, it still feels like this team is pretty dang loaded.
Yeah, it's kind of
because like Brett Burns has been stepping into that spot for Devon Taves and been doing great. Just Olofsson's finally coming out of a shell a little bit now. He scored in 2 straight games, which is great.
The thing is, though, Nick, I've very genuinely come to the conclusion that I don't think that this team can win the Stanley Cup without Landeskog, no matter who they are.
I think you're exactly right. I totally agree with that. There's no way they don't win it without him.
Yeah.
Or they win it without him. Sorry.
Yeah, I gotcha. It's very concerning. considering the not the likelihood, but the possibility percentage that he could be gone. It's kind of scary.
Yeah. So
really, really powerful dude.
he is, again, the captaincy that we had been missing for 3 seasons. You could, I mean, and he comes back and all of a sudden you're like this, where you only have your record still is 34-6-9. Okay, like
Literally
that is
breathes
stupidly
life.
good. Okay. Yeah. I'm not worried about not making the playoffs. I'm not worried about this.
Yeah.
I'm not even worried about President's Trophy. I don't care if you get the President's Trophy or not.
Stanley Cup.
It's Stanley Cup. That's the whole objective of this entire of hockey, of the NHL.
Anything less than Stanley Cup finals to me this year will be a disappointment.
It feels like I'm kind of right there with you. I'm going to take it actually a notch lower and actually just say Western Conference Final. Okay. But
that's fair.
But I think, I mean, hold them to that standard, to be honest with you. The way they're playing, it should be. I should be hiring mine.
Hopefully they'll be holding themselves to that standard.
And I'm sure that they would, because at least with Nathan McKinnon, you're going to be holding the whole team to a higher standard. So, anyways, that's kind of what I'm thinking, Britt, as far as like holdouts on roster for injury purpose. I think they're probably healthy already, but they're just going to hold on for those next week and a half.
And that's what I'm down for, the maintenance. That's fine.
And I think, I agree with you. I totally agree with you. Okay, let's do upcoming games, and then we'll do our hockey hits of the week. Which I think, again, I spoke this into existence because I said I wanted a sad song or like an angry song last week. Well, I'm gonna do it. So. Okay, so we're going to talk about 3 upcoming games of the 4-game road trip. Okay, so the 4-game road trip is at Toronto, at Ottawa, at Montreal, at Detroit. Okay, so we'll talk about all the Detroit game this week. Right now, Britt, let's do. How about this? Sunday, 11:30 a.m. Mountain Time puck drop matinee game.
God, shocker!
Boy, howdy. Right at Toronto. This Maple Leafs team is so just incredibly. They're not only that, but it's like
their ability to handle any emotional situations in games. It just crushes them, and it makes me so sad. But take advantage of it. They simply cannot find any consistency, so take it from them.
Yep, I agree. The key to this game, it's difficult to say just because of where the Maple Leafs currently sit. If I go to the standings right now, go to the wild card, look ahead, they're sitting 3 points out of the second wild card spot, out of the playoffs currently, with a 24-18-9 record. So
they just got Shelov's back, right? And he's playing terrible, and they were desperately waiting him to come back.
Yeah, and that's just it. It's like I was at the game here at the Delta Center where I watched the Maple Leafs just get their butts kicked 6-1. Okay, and that's with Nylander. That was with Taves. That was with Matthews.
So
that was with
Nylander out.
Every of their players were there, but their chemistry, or at least the communication on ice, just didn't exist. And I think
it's crazy because there's so much talent.
That's what I'm wondering. So I think my key to the game is to frustrate. I think that's what it's going to be. Now, in order to do that, you have to go back to what you've been doing 34 other times, and that has been scoring first, scoring often. So you're going out of these first periods with 2-0 leads, 3-1 leads, something to that extent to keep them flustered and over communicating and overstepping boundaries and making the extra pass and panic passing, panic shooting. I think that's what the key to the game for Toronto is going to be. It's not necessarily the hard hitting. It's not going to be the strategy that you have with your skills. I think it's going to be mental.
Yeah.
So it's different. It's difficult because yes, it's in Toronto, and obviously Toronto is not an easy place to play in. but I feel like their team chemistry, Toronto's, can just be overthrown if you
If we
fluster them.
set the tone. Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. So that's going to be my key to this game.
Yep.
Okay. Next, you have a couple days off, and then you play at Ottawa. That's Wednesday, January 28th, 5:30 Mountain Time puck drop. Ironically, I just spoke with a colleague of mine who they are based out of Ottawa, and they're Senators fans, and we were just kind of chatting all day about kind of what's going on with the Senators, and this kind of feels like it's the same as Toronto, just maybe 4 or 5 losses more.
Emotional instability, just and less tolerance for it from their fan base.
Oh yeah, and granted, I know we talked about this last week. There was all that off ice antics going on. It seems like that's kind of been blown over.
Yeah.
But now with the news that it sounds like Ullmark was kind of depressed and has this mental block going on, that hinders the team, and I think that's the kind of the key to the game. As much as I think highly of Ullmark and the Ottawa Senators and all that stuff, that's kind of the pinpoint.
Yeah.
You know, that's the nerve you have to hit.
Their weaknesses.
Yep, and because that's exactly what they did. Like with the Nichushkin situation, all the Seattle, Dallas.
Oh yeah.
When he wasn't there, they took advantage of the fact that the Avalanche players' minds were gone, and that's how they ended up not doing so well in those series and losing effectively. So
that is the only way the Seattle Kraken are going to beat the Colorado Avalanche.
Exactly. So I think it's kind of a bit of the same situation here. It's like if they're mentally checked out, take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Right. And it just frustrates them even more. It's gonna, you might get some angry punches thrown your way, but hey, if you don't retaliate, excuse me, that just means more power plays for you to hopefully score on. Yeah, well, at least you get 2 minutes of them not scoring. Well, I shouldn't even say that.
I was gonna say maybe we'll just
maybe you get a 2-minute power play and we'll see what you do with it. How about that? We'll just put it that way. But same thing. It's just the mental block.
Yeah.
That I think you have to just put the pedal to the metal there, and I think that's all you need to do. Okay. Next game. So that was the first of a back-to-back, I should say. So the next game, Thursday, December 29th, 5 p.m. Mountain Time puck drop against the Montreal Canadiens at the Bell Center. The Canadiens are a good team this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to be a big tone change. They're confident and rolling.
Yes, and currently sitting in third in the Atlantic Division. There was a time they were in first for quite a bit.
Yeah.
But this team, Brit, has this renewed sense of identity. It feels like ever since last season,
full of energy. They're ready.
Exactly. Ever since last season, and obviously with these trades that they just made, going out and getting Noah Dobson.
Yep.
And players to that extent, like they have a full
and their fans are having fun. They're loud and supportive.
So
vibes are high.
It's not to say that they're playing with house money per se, but they just look like a very good oiled machine. Okay. Yep. So the key to the game, I would probably say is going to be the atmosphere to me, right?
Yeah.
Bell Center, largest seating capacity. I've always wanted to go there. The crowd just seems raucous, and momentum can shift because of that crowd. Like it's pretty incredible what happens then.
It's probably just as profound as hearing them cheer.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. And Arturi Lehkonen gets to go back and play his former team from several seasons ago. So it's going to be a lot of fun, I think.
And I think leaning on our veteran status, like we have a team that's far more I can't even think of the word I'm looking for. Far more grown up, a lot more tenured in the NHL. I think leaning on that and playing our game and not getting messy. It feels like the Ducks and the Sharks, they seem to mess us up. We need to play a veteran game.
Yes. And that's I think that's where the experience comes in, Britt, like you were saying, where you need that veteran leadership. So the Brett Burns, your Nathan McKinnon's, anyone with tenure needs to step up in this type of situation, and ultimately shut down the atmosphere, because that atmosphere is like fuel for the Canadians.
Absolutely.
So it's Avs and Habs, going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be a close game, could even potentially be overtime. But the big thing with these 3 games, I'll say 4 because of obviously the road trip and that extra Detroit game, you have to go back to square one. Yeah. Win more games than you do lose.
Yeah. And it feels like these are good chances for us to get goalied too. We've got to break from that.
Yes. It's obviously there's plenty of offensive firepower from both teams, or from all 3 teams, excuse me. So it's not going to be a shortage of a skill issue, but this is definitely one where if your goalie's performing and your offense is doing exactly what they need to, you're scoring 4 goals a game.
Yeah, and we should hopefully see Blackwood get back into form, Scott Wedgwood with a little bit of rest. So hopefully we can get in kind of a nice little flow before the break and head into break feeling good.
Yep, I totally agree. But again, a big priority, at least for me, obviously I want wins. Who doesn't? But I would much rather see the team healthy, especially those that are going to the Olympics. And then after the break, I can finally say, I don't care. I want to win. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's a good road trip to have. It's going to be a lot of fun, I think. Just the All Canada side for the 3 of the 4 games, and then we'll just kind of have to see what happens after that. So that's going to be that segment for this episode. So let's go to the last little bit, the hockey hits of the week, Britt.
Yes.
So for those of you who are new to the show and haven't heard of this before, Hockey Hits of the Week is where we pick a song that we think best reflects how the week went, and we put it onto a Spotify playlist for everyone to listen to. So that being said, this is going to be the first angry themed song, I guess I should say, that I'm putting onto the playlist. Obviously mostly because of the title, but here we are. So, Britt, my hockey hit of the week comes from a very well-known singer named Avril Lavigne. And her song is called What the Hell?
Perfect.
One of my favorite all-time songs. I think about it often.
So long.
All-time classic song from her, but Avril Lavigne's What the Hell kind of reflects my thought as to the week that happened. So that's my hockey hit of the week, Britt. What have you got for us?
I'm like equally emotional. I went more of I don't know. My song is Evanescence, Bring Me Back to Life.
Ooh, I like that.
I feel like
there's that.
Like quiet, sad depression, but it's like an angry, because we know that these guys aren't just gonna fall into a sad sulking anger. So
there you go. They just need to wake up inside, right?
Yeah, wake them up inside and outside, like everywhere, ideally.
Save them.
Yeah, from the nothing they become.
Boy, this is like, I don't know. Those feel like they go right hand in hand. One of them because of frustration, the other because of sadness. But that's a perfect.
It feels kind of pathetic to have such a quick turn after 1 week of bad games, but it is what it is.
Well, at least it wasn't my initial thought, because I was thinking like most people are thinking of the ink spots. It's all over, but the crying. And I was like, okay, we're not there yet. Listen, we only have 6 regulation losses. It's not that bad.
I know.
So
well, that's like my lighter choice was Give It Away by Red Hot Chili Peppers.
There you go.
Like just turnover.
Yeah.
So
yep.
There's our lighter choice.
Again, one bad week. I think the Avs, again, as long as they play their game, they can turn it around just fine. I'm not too.
We just need them to keep a more level head than us, is really.
Yes. They do. This week, Britt, I don't know if you have anything else you want.
No, I think that's said my piece.
Okay, great. Well, thank you everyone for joining us on this episode of the Cluster Puck Podcast, part of the MHRT Network. Again, if you like what you saw, don't forget to like and subscribe, follow the MHRT Network so you can get notified when shows like the Cluster Puck Podcast go live. Us, we ask that you do so at the Cluster Puck Podcast on Facebook and at Cluster Puck Avs on Twitter, Instagram, and Threads. With that being said, let's have a little jolly Canadian road trip with a little Detroit mixed in there. Hopefully, 3 games, 3 wins. We'll just have to see. Should be a lot of fun. Enjoy the weekend, everyone. And as always, go Avs, go.
Fast lane when I pass in the street, bag of money in the passenger seat. Tempo's been asking for me on the road from the west to the east. Way up, I might never come down, cause the coast's racking up the flight miles. So high, I might never come down, so what, this is my lifestyle.